Video games are a real problem.
I don't know about you, but when I was a kid, I loved to play video games. More so, I loved to create a new character, grow my skills, build my wealth, and go on new adventures. For me, it was mainly my RuneScape character, with whom I spent many hours questing, killing green dragons, and fishing outside of Barbarian Village. As I learned more about the game, I unlocked new gear and got to challenge new bosses, having even more fun in the process. I actually quit RuneScape a long time ago, but there was something about the game that always stuck with me. A philosophy, if you will. Better opportunities require sharper skills. We don't get to live an awesome life worthy of starting a movie by default. We get the most out of life when we put the most into it. And that was the realization that started me on the path of personal development. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, it looks a little bit different in real life than it does in a video game. Instead of cooking an inventory full of lobsters in a few seconds, I make a couple of cappuccinos each day. Some turn out pretty good, others don't turn out so well. And after a couple of years, I still don't really have the whole latte art thing down, but it feels really good knowing that I can invite people over to my house and give them a cup of coffee that is on par with Starbucks. It always starts like that. Something simple and the urge to have fun. I've seen this pattern over and over again in my own life. Early on in life, I took an interest in programming and software development, again thanks to RuneScape. It started off as dabbling, then tinkering, then pondering, some more dabbling, some Googling, and then all of a sudden I had a working RuneScape bot made with auto IT that would mine coal for me while I was at school. Now obviously, if you played RuneScape, you know that bots aren't allowed. At the time, I didn't know this. I didn't even know what a bot was because I was just a kid. I just thought it was a cool way to make money while I was at school. By the time I got to college, I'd already built a couple dozen projects and I had experience with about half a dozen programming languages just because I thought they sounded fun. This experience allowed me to get a degree in computer engineering and computer science, which then led me to travel across the country for co-ops in both Houston and Atlanta, where I got the opportunity to make some great friends and do some very deep self-exploration. While I was doing all of this, I sold web scrapers on Fiverr as a side hustle, and I entered some hackathons, one of which I'm proud to say I actually won. All of these experiences came together to lead me to an incredible job where I've gotten to work with multiple Fortune 500 companies across various industries, and most recently I've had the chance to work with a Silicon Valley artificial intelligence company. I talk a lot about finances here on the channel. I bought my first stock in 7th grade thanks to my grandma, but my investing actually started way earlier than that. In elementary school, I started flipping items on the Grand Exchange to make some extra cash in RuneScape, and this taught me the value of putting my money to use. I started doing it in the real world too, and the next thing I knew, I was giving stock tips to my high school teachers, and they were actually listening. It also laid down the principles of passive income because I was able to manage the kingdom of miscellanea profitably for years. While we're talking about money, I just want to say that my parents thought they were wasting money on my RuneScape membership, and I think it actually turned out to be one of their best investments. There's an old saying, if you want to be interesting, you need to be interested. It's obvious that we can apply this to self-improvement. The better we get, the more we grow, the more interested that other people will be in what we have to say. As we continue to capitalize on more and more opportunities, other people will start to take notice. But if we don't take advantage of the opportunities in front of us, how can we expect other people to want to give us a chance? There were thousands of people that played the same game I did, but they were unwilling to apply its lessons to life. This tells me video games aren't the problem. But if video games aren't the problem, why do they get such a bad rap? If they change my life for the better, how can they be so terrible? Simple. It's easier to blame the game than it is to blame people. The problem isn't the game. The problem is people refusing to take the good parts from the game and leave the bad. The problem is people using video games to shield themselves from reality. The problem is people falling prey to dopamine addiction. Games offer us the incredible opportunity to grow as people, foster our careers, and interact with advanced principles with little to no real-world consequences. Look at me, I'm just one example of how they can teach you about personal development, economics, investing, passive income, goal setting, and much, much more. So yeah, if you throw all the good parts to the side, video games may be a waste of time, but if used effectively, they can help you grow your career, establish a healthy relationship with money, and form some incredible, long-lasting friendships. This is the way a simple video game changed my life.